Welcome to the Charmed Web Show. I'm your host, Tricia Carr. I'm a medium, animal communicator, empath, and energy healer. On this show, we discuss spirituality, magic, and the unconditional love of the universe. We welcome listener calls to answer spiritual questions and to offer live readings. Thanks for tuning in. So a couple of weeks ago, I did a video called Magic is Real. And I talked about how the law of attraction is often kind of misunderstood. So as a recap, I think that the cursory understanding of the law of attraction stems maybe a lot in part to The Secret, the movie The Secret about 10 years ago, which kind of framed the law of attraction as like a magic spell you could cast or something. In reality, what the law of attraction states is that, you know, since everything is energy, we are, that's my kitty trying to open the door. You hear that? I know, baby. He loves to help, and he's just super bummed. Honey, I'm sorry. Not this time, okay? Anyway, back to, I think that might actually calm him down. I love you, honey. I'm just sending him love and light. Oh, he's like, that's not enough. I have my own opinion. Anyway, so the law of attraction, since we are all energy, we are just vibration, right? Everything is energy. Everything that is matter is energy. Everything that isn't, everything that is non-matter is energy. What's energy? Basically, it's just vibration, right? It's the best. It's like activity. It's vibration. So everything that we come into alignment with, or everything that is in our view, everything that is manifested before us is a match to our frequency, to our personal inner vibration. It's like just tuning the radio dial. That's really what the law of attraction is. The word attraction actually kind of think throws me off, at least the way I kind of semantically understand. Attraction to me sounds like location, like there's something here and there's something here and they need to be brought together, something needs to be, in reality, there's no, in the greater truth, space and time doesn't really exist. That's a big one. We'll talk about that some other time. But it really is about tuning your dial, about tuning your vibration. So with the way The Secret kind of posed the law of attraction is you really, really focus on something and you desire it and you desire it and you ask for it and you ask for it and you hope for it. But if you stay in the asking phase, then you actually are staying in a phase of lack. And then that is a state of not having what you desire. You get it? I really want a boat. I don't know. I don't want a boat, but I really want a boat. I'm going to focus on a boat. I'm going to put a vision board up of a boat, and I'm going to think about the boat that I want to have. So you see, what I'm actually in is this state, and then I wake up the next day and I do the same thing. I want a boat. I'm in the state of asking, which means that I don't have it, which means it's lack, and that's the vibration I've activated. So what we actually, the way the law of attraction works for us, the way you can master it better and really have a lot of fun at this game on planet Earth, is to ask, release, and then find the vibration, try to be able to exist in the vibration that would allow the frequency to be tuned in. So rather than thinking about bringing something to you, it's about dialing in a frequency to be a vibrational match with it. So that's a summary of the previous video. I'm going to say hi to the Facebook people. Love and light to you, Melina. Oh, you're so sweet. You hear the meows? I know, Barnabas. Honey, I know. Maybe I'll let him in at the end if he hasn't lost interest. So anyway, part 2 of Magic is Real is inspired by an email that I received from someone who had watched that video. And I'm not going to tell you her email all the way through or tell you her name because I didn't actually have a chance to ask her. But suffice it to say that she shared with me that she has been working the law of attraction in that way, making vision boards and all this kind of stuff, and just not being able to get the traction. And so she even changed careers and is now like in the state of asking for a particular step in her career now. And so she asked me, she's like, so now I'm really just living in the space, basically enjoying the vibration of having that next step in this career, of really just being there and having that specific next step. And she said, so what can I do next in order to, really make sure that my desire comes to me? And so my advice back to her, this is tricky, is now you have to let it go. Now you have, now that you've asked, now you actually have to release it so that you aren't even asking anymore. And this is how this comes about. So I'm putting down my crystals. So you ask, you completely release whether it will happen at all, and maybe even more especially the details of it. Now, before you release the detail, I'll explain both of those things more thoroughly. So by asking, you can do that process that a lot of law of attraction teachers talk about, where you really do explore all of the details in a visceral way. So let's say the next step in her career is getting a promotion. And so she's imagining that office, and she's imagining, the expense account that she's going to get, and the fact that she's going to have a staff work for her. Maybe even that it's going to be Susan, and she thinks Susan is awesome and is going to be an amazing assistant. All of those details, the reason it would be good to explore those details is for the feelings that they give you and how that actually does raise your vibration to that state of being aligned with it, to being in tune and on frequency with the desire. But then release all of those details, because being focused on those details actually can arrest what your potential manifestation will be, or materialization. So the point of putting your attention on the details at all is just to be able to have an emotional response to them and then to release them. The other thing I said was to release whether you will be able to get the specific outcome at all, that desire. And that feels tricky because you're like, but I need it, but I want it, but it's the thing that will make me happy. But not really. If you're able to release it at all, it's kind of like confronting your demons in a way, in a roundabout way, because if you release your need to have it, that is actually how you're going to find a way to release that state of not having it, that feeling of not having it. So if you can find your bliss and your deep, deep presence in the absolute now, which, by the way, the emailer who provoked this, she said, that reminded me to stay very present in the now. So that is actually going to raise your vibration and make you, potentially make you a match to, that, whether it's that specific desire, but more importantly, just what is actually going to be your best and highest good. And that brings me to the next example of how and why you should release the attachment to the outcome and the details of the outcome. Because since the universe is always conspiring for your success, and then you really have no idea what the universe has in store for you. So basically, if you can be in the frame of mind of, look, I want this promotion, and then kind of adjust your desire and your point your tuner to this or something better. This or something better is kind of an affirmation in a way. And then you're going to be able to release those, the specifics, and being particular about it. And particular is a great word for it, because, in the quantum physics talks about waves and particles. So our thoughts and our emotions, they really emit as brain waves. And waves are the expanded expression of energy. Particles are the contracted expression of energy. So having the boat that I mentioned earlier is the contracted, the particular, the particle matter version of the waves of the thoughts, right? So, but the idea, the universe is ever expanding. So the more that we can continue to expand, then the more we're going to be able to be, well, more like God, really. And, but that's not to say we shouldn't be particular as well, because we need both. We need to contract and we need to expand. And the perfect metaphor, an example of that, is our breath. We expand in and we contract out, and we need both. And that's beautiful. So being able to figure out how to release the outcome of the desires, release those details. You don't have to be perfect at any of this, at any of this. If you can just feel it for a second, that is going to catalyze a big shift in you. And then just remember, just have faith in the moment that you had the little minuscule understanding of it. And it brings to mind for me, in the Bible, Jesus said that all you had to have was the faith of a mustard seed. And it's such a beautiful metaphor. And it's not only a metaphor to me, it's an actuality. And I'll explain. Well, first of all, a mustard seed is teeny tiny, and it, from that, develops a big, beautiful plant, a big verdant plant. And really, the information inside a mustard seed is just energy, which is exactly like the desire in my heart. So the energy, the information that tells the mustard seed to become a plant is exactly like the desire in my heart, which tells me I want this promotion, I want this boat, blah, 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 whatever. Those aren't even the most important things. Those are silly little examples. There's way more important things. Maybe you want to solve world hunger. That's a beautiful desire. But really all you need is that tiny, minuscule bit of information that is just pure vibration connecting to that pure, perfect desire, the outcome, the materialization. So that is magic is real too. And oh my goodness, I just see how magic is real every moment of every day. And even when I manifest something that is, technically negative, I just now am in a place where I can see it as an opportunity to find a new way inside myself to grow and to heal. So it's really, when you get to that place, life is just such an amazing, fun game. I mean, it is anyway. But to be able to master it there's nothing more beautiful. So essentially at the root of all of this is being able to find a way. That is my kitty cat throwing a big giant fit. Barnabas, honey, I'm almost done. So, but my final words on this topic are to trust flow. And again, this is how the breath reminds us. The breath is one thing, it's our authentic self, and which is why in religious texts, major religions, it's talked about as the breath of life that was given to us by God. The breath is our most authentic self. And if you need something to look at to be able to release all of those particulars, all of that contracted energy about the things that feel like they're stressing you out, just remember the breath and how your breath is always there, whether your awareness is on it or not, and that's flow. And then when you're able to put your awareness on your breath, oh, isn't that delicious and beautiful? And that's available to you at all the time too. So breath is this simple, profound, glorious example, and it's all that life is. All that life is here on planet Earth. So that's what I have to say today about Magic is Real. Thanks for tuning in. I love you, whoever you are.